Make sure you drink the daily recommended dose of Gamer Girl bathwater before you start watching. The recommended dose, by the way, is all of it. Riley wrote 0. That's the wrong answer. Drink all of it. An internal Capcom presentation posted to the company's official R&D YouTube channel has fans in an uproar over some of the company's takes on mods. But like mods themselves, there are shades of gray sandwiched between the black of nude character models and the white of replacing villains with Thomas the Tank Engine. The presentation slides do say things like all mods are defined as cheats, unless officially supported, and that the way mods interact with the game is no different from cheating. But if you listen to what programmer Taro Yahagi is saying, this is all in the context of anti-cheating measures. Yahagi claims mods that aren't officially supported can't be distinguished from cheating tools because of how they modify the game. Yahagi also says that mods offensive to public order and morals can tarnish the image of a product, a statement that may sound overly puritanical, if not for that accidental broadcast of a Chun-Li nude mod during a Street Fighter tournament back in August. You might be upset about Capcom restricting or fully banning mods in their games, but don't worry, you can violate public order and morals as long as you get permission first. Simply write a letter to Mr. John Capcom asking for official support and permission to make a mod showing off Chun-Li's bare fireballs.
They got a form and everything.
That makes sense.
They're ready.
There's many of them. It's been revealed that Bungie's recent layoffs weren't initiated by their parent company, Sony. That's probably because Sony was too busy engineering a removable disk drive that needs an internet connection. According to crack gaming detective Jason Schreier, Bungie may have cut an estimated 100 jobs because revenue for the year was running 45% below projections. CEO Pete Parsons blamed the poor reception of Destiny 2's Lightfall expansion instead of just blaming Lightfall for being really bad. Bungie is so worried about their looter shooter, they delayed its upcoming expansion, The Final Shape, after getting feedback that it was good but not great. Much like modern-day Bungie. In a now private video, streamer Aztec Ross shared several allegations about the upcoming Marathon game he heard from an anonymous trusted source. Aztec Ross claimed it was originally a battle royale before changing to an extraction shooter after Escape from Tarkov's success. But his biggest claim involved an event Bungie held earlier in the year where Tarkov streamers got to play Marathon. Aztec Ross claimed the game was delayed because no one said they'd play the game if it came out tomorrow. But this has been disputed by someone who was at the event, who says Bungie was very clear that the game was in a pre-alpha state. When Marathon finally reaches its alpha status, it's gonna be walking around shirtless, howling at the moon. It'll have the sickest supplement regimen.
Like gamers in general.
Oh, absolutely. Gamer subs. Starfield will finally get DLSS 3 support next week for some players. Bethesda Game Studios took to Twitter to announce native DLSS support and other improvements are coming to Steam beta before rolling out to everyone else. I know you're probably upset, but you just can't rush post-launch updates that are only necessary because the game's release was so rushed. Can you?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Leave a comment.
Yeah. Bethesda's newest spacefaring RPG has caught a lot of flack for not having DLSS support on launch, among other criticisms. But as always, some of those poor design choices are actually good choices. Some gamers just aren't sophisticated enough to understand. After one Steam user gave a thorough and measured critique of Starfield's design, including the procedurally generated empty planets, a developer had to jump in to educate the poor guy. Developer Falco Yamaoka said some of Starfield's planets are meant to be empty by design, but that's not boring. Yamaoka then quotes someone who may or may not have famously said, "When the astronauts went to the moon, there was nothing there." But they certainly weren't bored. And that's true, the astronauts weren't bored after going to one empty moon for a finite amount of time to conduct revolutionary scientific study. Perhaps if they have gone to 1,000 identical giant space rocks to track down some adhesives, they would have been less enthused.
And they didn't even have console commands.
Why won't these dead bodies get off of my ship?
They're part of the decor now.
See that mountain over there? You can go to it. You won't want to. Now it's time for Quick Bits, brought to you by dbrand and their all-new Arachno plates, inspired by a popular web-swinging superhero who shall remain nameless. The Arachno plates are a spider-themed twist on dbrand's Dark Plates 2.0, featuring mesh-filtered vents for improved thermal performance and a sleek, contoured shape. The Arachno plates also sport a detailed spiderweb design that matches seamlessly with a custom middle skin to complete the aesthetic. Visit mybossisveryshort.com and enter the code GAMELINKED to get 10% off your entire purchase. There. Made it through the whole thing without saying spy. Quick Bits are so short, initially we thought about calling them Linuses.
Rude, Luke.
He just is.
He's
it's
not
a
here to
fact of
defend
life. Even if he was here, he's not going to be able to defend himself. He's too short. Atari, the game company that you keep forgetting still exists, has acquired Digital Eclipse in a $20 million deal. Aw, that's cute, said Xbox. Digital Eclipse previously worked with Atari on the well-received Atari 50, the anniversary collection, and the US developer says they will still be able to pursue outside projects. Digital Eclipse wants to continue the Gold Master series video game documentary project that they started with the making of Karateka? Perhaps for the second entry, they can explain how the Nintendo 64 game Glover got made. Who approved this? GameStop is under fire for making employee and customer benefits worse, despite strong cash reserves from their meme stock explosion. Employees say that they are being instructed to give customers who bought in-store warranties used replacements for their defective products. Even worse, if there isn't a used product in stock, customers will have to personally drive to another store to get one. Even pro membership benefits are being changed so members can't use their $5 monthly reward to buy virtual currencies anymore. Sorry, apes, I know you're the reason our doors are still open, but you can't get your monthly V-Bucks anymore.
Hold on to what you got. Diamond hands.
I'm a V-Bucks diamond hander. We already knew that Bloober Team was remaking Silent Hill 2, but in a recent Konami earnings call, the company mentioned Silent Hill Remakes, plural, among its upcoming projects. Those remakes better be good because fans apparently hate the newly launched Silent Hill Ascension, Konami's weird choose-your-own-adventure streaming show. Players of the not game can vote on characters' actions using influence points, which they can get through daily participation, completing basic matching puzzles or just, buying them, of course. You can also boost comments on the live chat, which during the premiere had no content filter. There are no microtransactions to unsee what I've seen.
It's a horror game.
That kind of makes sense. The prototype of a canceled PS2 Daredevil game has leaked, reportedly via an anonymous dev who worked on it back in the day. Daredevil, Man Without Fear, a third-person beat-em-up, was nearly finished when it was permanently shelved in 2004. Apparently because Sony demanded features like Tony Hawk-style grind rails, and Marvel eventually decided it had gotten way too off course.
I feel like that's true to the character.
An enthusiast known as Solid Snake 11 was able to get the prototype into a playable state, meaning that we actually have actual gameplay footage. Personally, I'm disappointed that it even has graphics, as the most authentic Daredevil experience would probably be just a blank screen. You have to play by sound.
I'd love them to add the collect VHS tapes mode.
Play horse. Sims 4 released an expansion pack where, among other things, you can become a renter. That's right.
So realistic.
Now your fantasy self can own nothing and be sad as well. Alternatively, you can buy up all the nearby housing stock and become a landlord yourself? The new expansion also adds Death by Mold, which is strikingly similar to the Cordyceps fungus from The Last of Us. So if you fail to address the black mold in your new slum, I guess you can look forward to that. But who's gonna sue? The zombies? I'm sure you'll just get new renters. They can't afford to live anywhere else.
Is this a video game? Or is this just what's happening in California?
And if you're not a zombie by then, you can look forward to more gaming news next Tuesday, unless that's not your jam and you accidentally watched an entire video about the subject that you hate. Honestly, I've been down that rabbit hole. I've been there.